Jeriel, the face behind the Urban Book Nook, where I share book reviews, author spotlights, and all things lit, literally. And I'm so happy to be here today. We've got an amazing guest. We have Jayla, the owner of Apartment 105 Books. And if you all know me, you know how I feel about a Black-owned bookstore. So we are here, and I'm gonna go ahead and let the woman of the hour go ahead and introduce herself. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, like you said, my name is Jayla. I own Apartment 105 Books. It is a mobile black bookstore based in the Metro DMV area. And when I say that, and if people aren't familiar, DMV is DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So I primarily focus on like the Metro area. But yeah, that's what I do. I own the bookstore. I am a mom of a toddler, a wife. I work full time. So yeah, the bookstore is like what I do, pretty much in my free time.
So this is super cool because I am a PG girl. I grew up in Bowie, Maryland. Um,
Oh, nice.
and no, so when I saw you, I was like, oh yeah, girl, we got to talk. And when I was there, the only space we had was Mahogany Bookstore. Like that's the
Hmm.
only place we went to. So the fact that, I mean, shout out to Mahogany, don't take it away. But the fact that
Yes.
now we are growing in those areas is something I love. I love to see. So how did we get to the concept of the mobile bookstore? And shout out to the name Apartment 105 Books. I think that is so catchy. How did it all come apart or come together?
Thank you so much. So I guess I'll start with the name. So Apartment 105, really just came. I had been sitting on the name for a very long time, honestly. I at one point wanted to have like a homeware brand. So I just had the name and had been sitting on it for a minute. And pretty much where the name came from is the fact that I love brownstones and I'm very inspired by living single. And just how they were just like a community and lived in their brownstone. It was like real cute, just the girls.
Yeah.
So that's where like the apartment name came from. And then 105 is really 105, which is my birthday. So that's where I got my apartment number from. Yes.
All comes together.
So it
Okay.
all comes together. So that's where the name comes from. And now when I decided to open the bookstore, and I was keeping in mind like the apartment and community aspect and knowing that I wanted to open a black bookstore, I said it's Apartment 105 Books where black stories live. So
Girl, I
that's
love
the whole
everything
thing.
about it. I love it. So what made you go with a mobile rather than a brick and mortar?
So honestly, mobile from a business perspective, mobile is a little bit easier to do. As you can imagine, brick and mortar is very, very expensive. And there's a lot more risk with doing brick and mortar. And so I was like, you know what? I have had the dream of owning a bookstore, cafe, something, for a very, very long time. And I was doing some research and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull off a physical storefront. Like that's a lot. And so I've seen where women in like the Midwest, Ohio, those type of places have mobile bookstores, and it's actually pretty popular out there. And I was doing some research, and I'm like, we don't have a bookstore on wheels really in the Metro DMV. I do know of someone that has one like further out in Virginia or like further up in Maryland, but like in PG County, Metro area, there isn't one, especially a black bookstore on wheels. So I said, okay, I'm gonna open up a bookstore on wheels. And it even dates back to like book mobiles or big book mobiles, back in the day. That's how they were bringing literature and literacy to the black community anyway. So I just kind of wanted to take it back a little bit, and I was like, I'll just go the mobile route. And of course, even with doing mobile, it does still come at a cost.
Yeah.
So I decided to kind of pivot a little bit and just start with pop-ups, and doing vendor events and things, before jumping into putting it on wheels, which the wheels is coming in the spring. So
Love that. Well, okay. So you mentioned that apartment 105 is where Black stories live. So go more into that for me. What does that mean to you personally? I love that though. But what is that like? Dive more into that.
You know what? For me, I mean, it's me.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just me. So I am an avid reader. I grew up reading. My mom always had my sister and I in the bookstore. And there used to be a bookstore in this area called Caribou Books that was a black bookstore back in the
Yep.
day.
Yep. What was that,
Yes.
Landover Mall? Was that in
Yes, like
Landover? Okay.
somewhere in
Yep.
that,
Yep.
yes.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So she
Okay.
had us, she had us there, she had us down at the Barnes and Nobles, whatever.
Yep.
And so I really developed a love for reading. And as I've gotten older, at first I was reading things. I mean, I was even on Wattpad, like reading indie authors or whatever, but the stories weren't stories where the characters looked like me. And so as I got older, I kind of circled back to the emphasis that my mom would put on Black authors and Black stories because she read a lot of Black authors. And when I was thinking about it, I'm just like, we don't have like it's becoming more popular now, but we don't have a lot of places where we can find books for us, by us, by
Yep.
people that look like us, that are talking about our stories and our experiences. And
Yep.
so it was important for me when with opening the bookstore to provide that space and to open up something where yes, it's Black owned, but everything is by Black authors. So that's really like where the Black stories, like where Black stories live. I just wanted it to be a hub for just that, where Black stories live. You could come in and you can find any genre or story that you're looking for, but you know that it's a Black story. It's written by somebody that looks like you.
This is true. And that I mean I yes, girl. Yes. So is that the how do I put this? Is that the gap you saw that needed to be filled like off of that alone, or was there something else that kind of completed the full circle moment of yeah, this needs to exist and like right now? What was that gap?
So I think the gap for me, because I'm a fan of going to Black bookstores.
Mhm.
Like you mentioned, mahogany, love mahogany down, frequent mahogany. Um, I think for me, the gap was the fact that just like an access thing and wanting to provide like an additional space that it takes it back to back in the day where the books are coming directly to you.
Love that.
And so that's like kind of where the gap is because in this area, we do have Black owned bookstores. We
Mhm.
have Black owned Black bookstores.
Mhm.
There's a handful of them here in the area, but I think it doesn't hurt to have another.
Yep.
And I think that it also is a nice thing to have where this is something that can come directly to you.
Mhm.
And it to me further drives like that sense of community,
Yep.
in the sense of bringing literacy back, directly to the community, directly to this type of audience. Also, the fact that as a reader, was just like, okay, I want more. Like I want to, find more stories. I want to find more indie author stories, like stuff like that. So that's also another thing that I put emphasis on in the bookstore as well.
Girl, you segue into my next question perfectly. You good at this. So I was literally about to ask you, how intentional are you when selecting the books you carry? So what is that selection process looking like as you select these books for the mobile bookstore?
So the selection process is so a lot of it is pretty standard, I would say. So I'm getting books that, you can walk into any bookstore and find, or I guess any, Black books that you can find in any bookstore. So I'm keeping up with the latest releases. So whatever release like um Viola Davis book that just came out. Like I get all of the new releases. I also have a thing for providing like OG books, classics that you would have read, you know, years ago.
Yes, girl.
I'm big on providing that. So like if you come to a pop-up, you'll see where I have like Omar Tyree, I have
Ooh,
Sister
you have Be
Soldier.
More Careful? Because that was based in Baltimore.
No.
Girl, you got to have Be More Careful. That was with the Pussy Pound. I was reading that. Look, I was reading that in middle school. We shouldn't be reading that. The book is called Be More Careful and it's based in Baltimore, Maryland. But girl, you need to have that book.
Okay, so I'm gonna look that up. But so it's important for me to have like these books that, I heard about coming up as a
Yep.
kid. And I think so when I introduced some of those titles, I've had people come to a pop-up and say, "Oh my God, I haven't read this since I was in middle school. Let me grab a copy because I don't have a copy of it. Like I got it,
To the
from
game.
somebody else at
Hmm.
the library, whatever it was back in the day." So that also plays a role in my selection process, wanting to stick true to like our roots and having those type of stories. But I mentioned the indie stories earlier, so for I am a huge reader of indie authors. A lot of the books that I consume are by independent authors.
Yep.
And when I kind of got back into reading over the last few years, and how I got into it was from indie authors and being on Book Talk and seeing, all of this stuff. And so for me, it's really important to provide a space for them to have their books in a bookstore. I've spoken to some of them and they've expressed how hard it is to even get into the library system.
Yep.
And of course, how hard it is to even get into a bookstore.
Yep.
And so for myself, I'm like, okay, I want to provide the platform and space
Yep.
for you to have somewhere where you can sell your books and it's in front of another audience. So
Yep.
right now I carry I want to say two to three right now, and I have a few more in the works.
Okay.
And it does, it can be a little bit challenging doing it, but it's super important for me, and I want to provide space, community, and the platform for them to have their stories in front of bigger audiences.
I love, so we're doing reverse. That's exactly why I started my platform. It's because of my love for reading and exposing indie authors. But then I was like, Black bookstores to me need the same exposure because when people think of books, for some reason they go to Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. And I'm like, no, 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 no. We have spaces that are selling our voices. So that's literally why I have this platform of highlighting Black owned bookstores because we're here, we're selling our own voices. You need to
Yes.
come check us out first before going to Barnes and Nobles and Amazon. So kudos. Wait, so who are your top, well, who are your top three indie authors right now that you are into?
Um, so I'm getting into Jacquel J, but I
Okay.
do really like her work. I really like Z Renee, and I really, dang. So I have like
Name them all,
it's
girl. I want to hear because I'm on Z Renee neck. I love me some Jack Whale. Who else we got? Girl, name them all. I know.
so I really love her name. I believe it's pronounced T Lynn. It's like T with a little.
Yep.
I love
I've
all
read
of
a
her
couple of your
stuff.
books. Okay.
Yes, I love all of her stuff because
Yeah.
it's not like I don't know.
Agreed.
I can get through like two, three of them things in a day.
I found her on Kindle and it's been a wormhole ever since. I was like, baby,
Yes.
what? Yes. Yes.
Yes. And then I also like her name is Cami. I like her books as well. And I don't know if it's just Cami or if it's like Cami Crashon. I know on the cover it says Cami, but she had like a series called where it was like the Graham brothers or something like that. But anyways, I
Okay.
really like her stuff too. And I actually just downloaded another one of her books this morning that I started before I went to work.
You sound like me. I just downloaded Jacquel book this morning, the rotten one. So I was like, first thing this morning.
Listen, I'm waiting on those to come in for the bookstore now. So
See? Can we think alike? We think alike, girl. That's why I don't know if I could be a bookstore and I'd be reading all the books. They'd be like, you're supposed to be selling them. I'd be like, wait a minute. Let me read it before we put it on the shelf. That's
I
what I
know, and the thing is, so sometimes well, a lot of times I don't, just because there's certain genres that I have not fully gotten into yet, just
okay.
as a reader, and so like I'm not a huge thriller, mystery, fantasy person.
Oh, I got some Rex for you, girl. There's an Afro-futuristic genre that I just
Mm.
found out about, and it is literally like, psh, but it's like African authors, and
Yes.
they do robots. It's crazy. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I
I just
want to get
discovered one.
into it. I really do, but I think once I discovered like romance and then black romance, and then once I discovered like urban fiction, urban romance. I just
Yeah.
went down a rabbit hole and I'm just like,
So have you
romance is
started
it.
dark romances yet?
No, because I'm a little scary.
Girl, so Masterpiece has one called Grandmaster, and it's a dark romance. Check that out.
But I'm just a little scary with it. Like, I don't know, because I don't want it to be. I still like the happily ever after. So it's like, do the
It's
dark
happily
romances
ever
have
after,
that?
but it's dark, girl. It's dark, but it's happily ever after. I'll tell you
I
that
just need
much.
like an intro to dark romance. Like, give me a medium dark, and then I can
Ooh,
kind of get.
I don't even know if there's a medium dark because all the ones I've started, I've been like, oh, okay, we're
I don't
here.
want to go too deep. I just want to just a little bit, and then work my
I
way
don't know.
up.
I think Grandmaster by a Masterpiece would be really good because she writes really
Okay.
well. And so it's very descriptive and like he has an owl. So I think the backstory of him intrigues you. So just put that on your list. Put that on your list. You know, I can keep going, girl. I can keep going. So what are some challenges people might not recognize or not realize come with running a mobile bookstore or the startup that comes with getting set up?
Mm. I think the thing that it's a lot of challenges. I guess it's a lot of it can be a lot of challenges. I think the one thing that people may not realize or recognize, and this is based off when I've like talked to people that
Hmm.
have shopped with me, is the fact that although I am mobile and right now I do pop-ups, I am still a bookstore.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they do not think that I guess because of the setup and how it works, that I'm not an actual bookstore, but I am. So I have a lot of the challenges of like ordering and how long that can
Mhm.
take sometimes, and just getting set up with publishers and things like that to get these books in the first place. But outside of that, there is very challenging um being mobile and doing pop-ups
Mhm.
because it's a lot of like back and forth with taking the books back and forth, the setup and breakdown.
Yeah.
I don't have a store where I'm just going, oh, I'm going in, unlocking the door, everything is all set up. When I unpack my inventory and
Yep.
things like that, I store it somewhere. So it's like my storage is split between like my home, but then also I have a storage facility. So um it can be challenging just like doing inventory, getting the books in. Okay, now I got to put them up. Then when it's time for a pop up, okay, I'm packing everything up,
Yeah.
and curating a selection, picking out which books I'm gonna taking them, setting it up, breaking it down, bringing them back. So that can be a little bit challenging being mobile.
I didn't think about that. That's a valid point because you could select different books for different pop-ups. So that could keep you going, but you want to curate towards the customer base of whatever pop-up.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. So I do. So I think
Yeah.
with how I do it is the fact that I curate my selection based on where I'm going to be at. So I've
Mhm.
done like a wellness market before. So I put a huge emphasis on wellness books or books that centered around mental health. And I had like some meditation books and things of that nature.
Yeah.
If I'm at like there's a local coffee shop, Mix and Mingle, that I go to from time to time, if I'm there, I know that a lot of the people that I meet there are in book clubs, they're avid readers, they may be like a little bit more of a mature audience sometimes. And so I curate the selection based on who I know is going to be there, who organically visits that cafe. So yeah, I just curate the selection based on where I'm going to be that particular day. So it does require me to, go through my inventory, and I'm a hands-on person, so I'm like looking at, my inventory through my system digitally, but I'm also like physically looking at, I pull out all the books. I'm physically looking at them and like literally hand picking, okay, this is what I'm going to take, this is what I'm going to take. We're going to pack it up and take it.
I guess, ooh, good. It's well worth it. It's well worth it.
Yes.
What has been one of your favorite moments for bringing Apartment 105 books to local markets?
Okay. Oh, this is kind of easy. So my favorite moment I think was meeting. I guess my favorite moment of bringing it to local markets is the opportunities that it's presented me. and meeting different people, meeting people that have connections within the area, but also the fact that it afforded me the opportunity to meet Victoria Christopher Murray. And because I was at a local market, so there is this I guess, organization that does pop-ups at the National Harbor at Tanger outlets. And so I had done a pop-up there in the fall, and Victoria Christopher Murray just happenstance, was shopping with her sister. And her sister saw my setup because I'm literally like in between stores with my setup, like tent, the whole nine. And her sister saw her book on one of my shelves and then told her, hey, let's check this out. And she brought her over and, she was signaling, she's like, this is her. And I had personal librarian. She was like, this is her. And I'm like, huh? And she was like, yeah, this is her. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So she came over and we're talking. And I just was so like starstruck. Right. And I'm just like so starstruck because I'm like, oh my God, whatever. And I actually did not know what she looked like.
I don't think I did
Um,
either. I don't think I
for Yeah, so sometimes I don't look at like the back to see what the author may look like or whatever.
probably black, in all honesty. I'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
they're black. All right, let's keep it moving.
exactly. You're black. Okay, cool. Let me read this one.
Yep.
I'm gonna just keep going. So I didn't know what she looked like. So I was just so starstruck. And we were talking and I told her about the bookstore and she was like, this sounds amazing. I love what you're doing. I would like to do a book signing with you for Harlem Rhapsody. And Harlem Rhapsody had, it had been out for a little bit, like some months. So she was done with tour and things like that. But she wanted to do a winter signing. So yeah, it gave me the opportunity to set up a winter book signing with her that we did in December. So that was like a
Both books are gems. Well, Personal Librarian is on my TBR, but Rhapsody took me through there. Fully love it.
in the audiobook. Ooh.
Oh, girl. The audio, I think the narrator did so well. I was pissed at the audio. But yes, I was over here. Like, don't even get me started with W.E. Du Bois. Don't piss me off all over again, okay?
Shocked. Shocked.
Girl, I almost want to go to that man ancestors and be like, "Did you hear this? Because somebody needs to answer some questions."
He was a mess.
Don't get
And
me started. Don't get me started on that. Okay, listen. That man is on my list. So, how has the community responded to Apartment 105 book so far?
it's been really an amazing response. And sometimes I am like a little bit shocked, I think, that people have responded so well. From like my first pop-up, the response has just been phenomenal. And each time, like as time goes on, it gets better and better. Um, yeah, I've just been able to accomplish a lot. Like I launched in October, so what is this? I think April will be 6 months
Hmm.
that the bookstore has been open. So the community has just been phenomenal. And sometimes I am still so shocked. And it makes me emotional. Sometimes I literally like after a pop-up, I will have a moment where I'm like crying because I'm just so like I can't even wrap my head around it. Like even now talking about, I'm just like, wow, I just, I really
Doing it, girl. It is coming to
I can't
life.
believe it because
Yes.
you have people come, they'll come and shop. I've had repeat customers, so they follow me and see where I'm going to be at next, and they'll come again. They're bringing their friends, they're telling their coworkers, they're bringing coworkers, whoever, and people are following me. Like I've had people shop. Oh yeah, my coworker sent me your page. Oh yeah, my friend sent me your page or whatever, and they're just bringing people. So when people come up and say, follow you on TikTok or I found your video on TikTok, and I'm just like, wow.
That means it's happening, and we are trying to give you your well-deserved flowers because we know it's not easy, especially as readers. We're so demanding. We like, why you don't got this book? Or when you gonna order it?
Yes.
We want like, I'm trying to spend my coins with you. What's the problem? So I know how it is to be on the reader side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally.
I'm like, I'm trying to get it together. So I get it. So, has there been any moments where you've seen your impact in real time, like bringing books? Because literally,
Mm,
people sometimes, I notice that being on book events, you can see when people realize a book, you see their face light up, and that's what I'm like, oh, it is people who do books. So, have you seen somebody that's just totally like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for a book, and I'm so excited you're here, type of thing?
yes, yes, actually, I think that when I do events, so like Tanger outlets, that whole like vendor market that they have, when I did that, and people came up and they were like, "Oh my gosh, there's a bookstore." They walk past and are like, "Oh wait, you're a bookstore," and then they're looking and they're like, "Oh wait, you have this book. Oh wait, you have this book.
Oh,
I was just about to buy this book." So it's stuff like that where I can see in real time. Or even when I have people come up and, maybe it's like a group of people and one person in the group is just like, oh, I'm not really into books or whatever. But then they start looking around and, maybe they see a title that like they've seen before, it resonates something with them, or even when I've had where it's happened where with me carrying those, what I call OG titles, they're
mhm,
like, oh, wait, this got me into reading.
mhm.
And, put down books I don't really read anymore, da, 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 whatever. And now they're like, oh, wait, I'm about to buy this book. So I see the impact when those moments happen
Yeah.
that okay, this is like where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes.
And it happens even, when I see like children that come up because I do also carry children's books. And so
Yeah.
when I see that children are like with their parents or whoever and they get excited and they see that, oh, you have something for me, or even the parents who are like, oh wow, you have children's books. So
That's
then it just, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do.
my daughter's a book girly. She think if I get a book, she need a book. I'm like, you ain't put in on this. This you was not included in this book allowance money. Okay. I be trying to tell her. So you said it's opening early in the spring. Do we have a hard launch date or it's still a tentative in the spring?
It's still tentative in the spring.
Work for us.
Um, I am honestly really trying to shoot for like May,
Okay.
maybe even June, but I'm really trying to shoot for May. So I just actually, I want to say it's been like a week and 2 days ago, purchased the trailer finally.
Yeah.
So I finally have it. And that was like a whole journey in itself, just getting a trailer. So I finally have it. So now I'm like mapping out the plans of how to execute the plans that I have.
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, April are concerned, I work full time, have all this stuff going on. How am I gonna fit in trying to turn this trailer into a bookstore
Yeah.
and get it ready to go on the road? So it's a
It'll
tentative date for now. I'm shooting for May, but it may end up being June.
It'll work out, and it'll work out as it should. It'll work out because I'm like she's right. Because now you got to get it together. Like not only do you have it, you got it'll work out. It'll work out. Okay, it'll work out. So what is next for Apartment 105 Books until we officially launch our trip? Where can we find you, or what upcoming events can we catch you at?
So this month I'm super excited because we are officially in like festival and market season with it being the spring. So April 4th, I will be in Southern Maryland at Cup of Sugar Cafe. So it's my first time doing something. Well, actually, not my first time because my first event was in Southern Maryland, but I've been asked to come to Southern Maryland quite a bit. So I'm making that happen, doing a nice, cute cafe tea shop there. And then in the middle of the month, before the Cherry Blossom Festival ends, I'll be in DuPont Circle in DC for their Cherry Blossom pop-up market. And then at the end of April, I will be in DC for Black on the Block, which is a super amazing event. And they do multiple cities. So they're on a 7 city tour right now. and it is literally a huge event filled with nothing but Black owned businesses. So you can come in and shop all the Black owned businesses. They usually have great DJs, games, bars, the whole nine. So
They have that here in Houston. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm like black on the block. Okay, I gotta look that up.
think that they actually do have a Houston stop. If I'm not mistaken, I think that they do. So
Okay.
definitely like like check their Instagram and see, but I'm pretty sure that they have a Houston stop.
I added it to my list, don't you worry. So, are we able to buy your books online? Do you have an online site or everything is in person?
Everything is in person. The online site is coming soon this spring as well. So, yeah, I have sat on the online site since I've started. I had it pretty much done, just my own self being like, oh man, maybe the demand is going to be too much. I've held off on
Launching.
launching it and like sharing it with everybody. But as we continue to grow, I see the need for the online shop. So I've had people say, I can never get to you. I always miss a pop up. I would love to shop online, that whole thing. So I'm like, okay, girl, get this online site and launch
I'll say,
it.
we look, I told us book girlies, we are very demanding. Like we want convenience.
Y'all are demanding. And I'm saying y'all, and I'm
Like,
a
can
book
we
girly
order
too.
online? Can we order online?
Listen, everybody's like, can we order? You got a website? Can I order? Can
It's not
I?
our fault.
So it's coming. It's coming. It honestly it may launch before the trailer is open and running.
We'll take
So we'll
either one.
see.
We'll take either one. Where can we connect with you social media wise? Or what are your at names on social medias?
So Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, Apartment 105 Books. Apartment is spelled APT. So APT 105 Books on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. And I'm very active on the social media. So like Instagram, you'll find more of the informational stuff, all of the where I'm going to be at next. I post recaps and things. And then TikTok, you get more of like, I try to do little dab of the days and book reviews and stuff like that. So,
We're friends on. I know we're friends on Instagram. I'm gonna have to check you out on TikTok because I love a good review. Okay, before we get out of here, let's do a little rapid fire. Okay,
okay.
Kindle or physical book?
Ooh, y'all don't eat me up for this, Kindle.
Yep, I'm a Kindle girly too. Don't you better not come for us. I'm a Kindle girly too, and then I only buy book trophies, so I get it. Like I can read it on my Kindle. I mean my Kindle, but if I actually love it, I'm buying the book trophy.
Yes.
What book do you recommend the most? That's probably a hard question.
Ooh. Right now, I've been recommending, ooh, that's kind of tough. Okay, lately it's been Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop or Plus Size Player by Daniel Allen.
Okay, both of them like, I'll take it. Um, Rated Black author, you feel like everyone should know.
And what was the first part? You said
Underrated Black author.
underrated. Oh,
They ain't got a six-figure book deal. I feel like they all underrated, but
yeah. Dang.
I'm trying to get you with some good questions.
I know that is good because I'm like, who do I feel like everybody should know that they don't know?
I think it's a couple of them. I think it's some male authors that I've been trying to push because everybody go. Of course, it's more women authors, but if I get a good black male author, I'm like everybody should know who this is. At least you're able to see you read some type of man. So if you ask me, any black male author from romance to suspense, everybody should know.
Well, yeah, oh, you know what? And I'm gonna say, um, and I don't want to say she's underrated because I feel like she's not. But the only reason why I feel like she is because I think a lot of people have slept on this book, although it just came out, but a lot of people have slept on it. Um, and I cannot think of her name right now. This is really gonna burn me. But she wrote This Ain't Our First Rodeo.
Is that the one with the pink? It has they're like on the horse.
Yes.
Okay, so that's on my TBR. So that means I definitely need to push it to.
You need to read it. So I have that, and I actually like just sold out of it on Friday at a pop.
Okay, noted. Okay.
But I feel like she's low key a little bit underrated. And I can't remember right now off the top of my head if this was her debut or not. But it did get this book got picked up by Hulu for a series.
Yep, that's what it because the cover is pretty because I remember it's in Walmart. I saw
It's a pretty cover, and there's
yeah,
the couple is sitting on the horse, and
sports.
it was a
Yep.
lot of like conversation about them on the horse on threads, and I was just so confused as to why people made such a big deal about it. But I feel like that at first it gave kind of people were like sleeping on her a little bit and gave underrated. Just a little bit. I don't know how long she's been out. I can't remember right now, but yeah. I think people should really tap into her book, and it's a great book.
I'll have it written down. What is your current read?
Oh, mm, and I said it earlier. It's by Cami.
Oh, I didn't write it down. I just wrote the name down. I just wrote the name of the author down. I didn't write the book. I know exactly what you're talking about. You did this.
It's like the last book in the series, like the Graham Brothers series. But it's about the sister named Peace. But yeah,
Okay.
I think her
And
name is
question.
Peace.
Last question before we end the interview. One word to describe Apartment 105 books. What's one word?
Black.
Evolving. Yes, we like it. We like it. We like anything that's biggity black. Okay. Black. Do y'all hear that? That is how we describe this. Black. All
Black.
I thank you so much for sitting down with me. This has been an amazing interview. I cannot wait to expose the world to you because I just feel like everybody needs to know when they travel, what are some black bookstore stops they can travel while they're within the states. So I can't wait for the momentum to pick up. So everybody check out Apartment 105. We are waiting for a website and mobile bookstore, but
Yes.
fully behind you and supportive. And as a book girly and a reader, I appreciate you for curating these spaces for me and others like me. Because without you, we wouldn't have our addiction. At least it's not crack. You know what I'm saying? We could be addicted to worse. Okay, at least it's
I
not.
mean, you're not lying. We're spending our dollars correctly.
We're giving back. It's helping more than one person. So at least it's not crack. That's half the battle here, you know? Something to take off the edge a little bit.
Yeah. It sure does take off that shot. You get that book and you're like, ooh,
That's what
I
I'm
could go
talking
through the
about.
day.
But thank you so much. We will definitely be in touch, all right?
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.